We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Ryan Garcia caps and says that Gervonta Davis handicapped him with an insane weight demand. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Let's jump right into it. Ryan Garcia was on a podcast, and he was capping. Ryan Garcia, on this podcast, he was basically saying there was this extreme weight clause from Gervonta Davis that Davis insisted on having put into the contract that required him to starve himself and not drink water or eat for about 3 days. You know what? Roll the clip.
Also look like a lot leaner in the face.
Yeah.
Like you've been taking it serious as
Yeah. I'm not
like your lips a little even bloody.
I'm not playing around. I'm giving everything in this fight. I'm sacrificing everything.
And you said you can't drink any water, you can't eat any food.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my contract that they don't let me drink water for 3 days or eat for 3 days out of the week, just so I could be on schedule to make weight.
Yeah,
they're
for
putting in crazy
Gervonta's.
things. Yeah, for his comfortability and if taking the match. If I didn't agree to these conditions, it obviously wouldn't happen.
Yeah, so I'm curious about that. How does that kind of stuff go? Like when
Wow, so you guys heard that was Ryan Garcia himself. Now, when I first seen this, I immediately thought he was being joking or being sarcastic or whatever, but I still believe that it was in poor taste to even do that. And I'm gonna explain why in this particular video. For starters, the thing that bothers me about what Ryan Garcia did is the fact that he has a YouTube channel. He is a presence on social media. So he should know how this stuff works, being that he's amassed 9 million following or whatever on Instagram and whatever he got on Twitter and got a YouTube channel, etc. So he knows the ropes better than many when it comes to utilizing TikToks and Instagrams and the YouTube to brand yourself. That being said, he should know, as everybody knows, that this is the biggest fight in boxing between Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, right? And this particular fight, I've said it from the beginning and I stand with that, is that this fight is going to do good numbers and be a success because it really encompasses so many different fan bases. I mean, you got hardcore boxing fans that would want to see this fight. You got people who just like Gervonta Davis and the way he fights, and he has his own crowd. A lot of celebrities like LeBron James and Tory Lanez and, different celebrities like Madonna have all popped up and went to Tank Davis's fight. He's big news. Ryan Garcia, he might have young girls or young fans, and he's been on some shows and in commercials and stuff. So he has almost a completely different fan base than Gervonta Davis, but he's still also very popular, right? Not the A side, but he's popular. So I'm not a fan of people who purposefully have information and have a platform and purposefully put out misinformation or bad information and really don't clear it up. So Ryan Garcia, I just think this was, like I said, was in poor taste because you really have impressionable young fans, especially Ryan Garcia's fan base. When I think of Ryan Garcia, people who would like Ryan Garcia or some of the people and crowds that I've seen at shows, it's a very young crowd. It's a younger crowd. Like some people may not even know how to drive young, It could be, young men or women in their 19s and 20s and stuff like that, which is cool. But the bottom line is you have a lot of impressionable young fans that gravitate towards you that don't really understand boxing. And you're on this podcast, which based on the podcast being successful and you being Ryan Garcia is going to generate looks, which is why I'm doing this video. So you're putting out bad information on a podcast without clearing it up on the podcast or letting it be known that you were just joking or being sarcastic or whatever the case. I mean, he's literally on the podcast, it's filmed, and he's saying it with a straight face. So we have to just assume, I kind of got it, and I was like, all right, he got to be joking because that sounds ridiculous, that sounds crazy. But again, you have to understand the internet is powerful. If you say so-and-so got arrested, some people aren't going to do the research. If you say The Rock got arrested and then you had an AI photo of The Rock being, placed in handcuffs by cops, people will share that. People will say, oh, Dwayne The Rock Johnson got arrested. Oh, off of a fake picture. We live in that society. We live in that times. And there's a lot of people who hear things and they're not going to go the extra step, especially in this generation with TikTok. They're not going to go the extra step. They're not going to go the extra mile to confirm it. They're not going to look and make sure it's a credible source. They can just hear something. I mean, we see it in boxing too. You could just be on YouTube and anybody could say something and people will say, oh, the fight's done because a YouTuber told me, but that YouTuber doesn't have any sources or know what they're talking about, or Instagrammer or Facebook page. A lot of these people, they work regular jobs and then they do the boxing on the side. They're not making real money in boxing. There's a small handful of us that are making real dough and full-time income doing boxing on different platforms like YouTube, Facebook. There's even writers that struggle and probably have other gigs and stuff. And that's being real. And I've been in the game for a minute. So with that being said, I just think it's disrespectful for Ryan Garcia to do that. There's no indication that he's joking. You have to just assume he's being sarcastic. And again, his fan base, I don't rate them. I think his fan base has a lot of casuals involved. So they're going to hear this, and you already have a lot of race fans for this particular fight as well, which is a whole separate issue. You got a black fighter from Baltimore in Gervonta Davis, and you got Ryan Garcia, and then Ryan Garcia is saying this cockamamie stuff about Tank Davis, made him eat the Last Supper and he can't eat or drink water for 3 days, which sounds like it's a very cruel condition or clause that one would put in the contract. And it sounds very harsh and it sounds, really unfair. And you got people who are really riding with this thinking that is like the truth, and it's really propaganda from Ryan Garcia. So I don't prefer that he did that, because you have to, if you're joking on the internet, a lot of times you have to make it like overly clear that that's what it is. And I don't think Ryan Garcia, the way he handled it on that podcast, I don't think he made it clear, because there were pages, I'm talking about like World Star Hip Hop, different pages that don't really cover boxing, but they're invested because this is a big fight. More power to them. But I seen a bunch of pages that really hip hop pages or World Star, and all these people were posting it and posting the snippet, and they're really thinking that Gervonta Davis actually put something in the contract that stipulates that Ryan can't drink water or eat food, which real boxing heads can probably get that he's joking or being sarcastic. But again, this is a fight that transcends just regular boxing fans. So it's clumsy, it's sloppy, it's messy to put that out there like that. There are real people and pages and all this stuff with tons of followers that really think this is a thing. And and again, you got the race fans, and then the race fans are going crazy like, oh yeah, Tank Davis, he's a coward, and they're calling Tank Davis out of his name and all types of stuff for something that's not even for real. So for me, I can't really respect that move. Really, I think Ryan Garcia should make more of a public statement that he's just kidding or whatever. He did say on Twitter, hey, Leonard, I was, being sarcastic. I expected you to understand it, because Leonard came out and said, stop lying about being weight drained and stuff. But it's a very slippery slope that Ryan Garcia is treading on. And here's the thing. You got idiots in the comment section saying, oh, he did it to sell the fight. That's BS because the fight is already sold. People want to see the fight from the press conference. So you don't have to keep going on about weight and this and that. And to be honest, people are now like looking down on Ryan Garcia, and I'm just keeping it all the way a buck because that's what I do on my channel. People are looking down on Ryan Garcia and saying stuff to the fact that he's scared, he's going to pull out, he's going to get anxiety again because it wasn't a good look. And my thing is this. Ryan Garcia and his fans, they're going to call this a joke or sarcasm. But the whole purpose of a joke is for it to be funny. And my thing when it comes to comedy is this. Comedy involves timing. You have a novice host who really don't know about boxing, the Bradley Martin dude. You know, he lets you punch him in the stomach and all that type of stuff. He's a podcaster and he works out and things like that. He's not no boxing. Like, he could tell me who Brandon Figueroa is and what happened in the Max Sayo fight. So you got a novice host who's just, you know, doing his job, asking the questions, letting you answer and all that. And that's no problem. But he can't correct you because he doesn't know enough about boxing to be clear on that, right? So Ryan Garcia being a boxer, being in boxing, I think it's a bad look to purposefully miseducate people. You know, no matter how you slice it. And I don't buy, he's trying to build the fight. The fight's been built for the last several years and the press conference and things like that. So now you got people saying, Ryan, he's going to pull out, he's going to duck. He's pre-making excuses because Tank's going to knock him out. So again, the purpose of a joke is for it to be funny. The purpose of a joke is for the joke to land. When it comes to humor, my approach to humor is this. If you have to explain the joke, it probably isn't funny. Like, you shouldn't, a guy walks into a bar and then he walks out with the priest and the rabbi and they said, and then you got to explain, you get it? Because the priest and the rabbi said this this not funny. And that's what happened with Ryan Garcia. He arched eyebrows and raised eyebrows and left people with questions like, how could Tank do this? I've never heard of this and things like that. So your attempt at comedy or sarcasm just really didn't land. And it gave people ammunition. And my thing is this. I'm from the Bay Area where we play the roast game where we just roast people for their fits. But the illest people, including myself, that roast people, we roasting off real facts. Like, that's why your shoes is busted, or that's why you got kicked off the basketball team with your dumb ass, saying stuff like that. But it was real stuff that happened. When you make something up, it don't hit the same, right? If you like, that's why you short and we talk and you roasting Shaquille O'Neal, that's stupid because we know Shaquille O'Neal's not short. You're not going to get points for that, right? So it's the same thing. If Tank Davis, you want to make him scared, make him sound scared or scary off of stuff he's really doing. But when you have to stretch the truth or lie or embellish it or joke and be sarcastic or whatever he's going to call this, then that makes it look goofy and it makes it look corny because you should be able to, if you really believe Tank's a coward and all that, you should be able to roast him with situations that are actually happening, not spread fake news and propaganda saying you can't eat and drink water or whatever like it's Ramadan for days. I mean, come on, that's like inhumane. That's not a real thing. And it makes me wonder like where Ryan's head's even at. Like, why are you even on a podcast? Because this is the space in most fighters where they're in camp and they're doing the hard sparring. You're doing, like, I get that you have to do media obligations, but a lot of people do that at the tail end of the camp when they've already done got close to their target weight and already done the hard sparring. You got Ryan Garcia spreading fake news and he's doing it early on where he should probably be digging in terms of tough sparring in the camp. So it's just been peculiar behavior from Ryan Garcia. I mean, he randomly said President Obama could be on Tank's side and I don't care, I'm going to shock the world. And then people criticize that. Now this move where he's saying that, lying and saying that Tank had these stipulations that truly didn't exist to make Tank look bad. Again, if you're going to make someone look bad or trash talk, that's fine. Tank has a purse on, that's good. all that type of stuff is good stuff. But when you got to lie on a man, you know, that's I'm not going to give you no points for that. And I think Ryan should probably just focus on the training. This is the biggest fight of your career. You're doing podcasts. Again, I understand the podcasting, but usually, like when you see the Errol Spence training for Ugas, he's doing that at the tail end. And then he's going on the Pivot podcast and doing all these interviews and different stuff like that because he's pretty much, you know, ready for fight week. Ryan Garcia is doing it right now and then, you know, complaining about a contract that he signed with these weight stipulations, and it sounds like pre-built excuses. Let me know what you guys think. I thought this was in poor taste for Ryan Garcia to go there, and he follows me on Twitter, so he can see this, you know, if he's on Twitter tomorrow. But, you know, I don't prefer stuff like that. Again, if you're going to roast somebody, roast them with some facts. We unpack. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.